What's going on, tool groupies? Have you ever had yourself in a situation where you took something inside of a store and you thought that was the last place you've seen it? You go back, you call, you talk to the manager and say, hey, I think I left this here. Has anybody turned something in? They're like, nope, nobody turned nothing in, and you're not sure what you done with it. Well, that's the situation that happened to me and my 9-year-old and her iPad. The problem is the actual iPad was left in Tractor Supply, but the manager is the one who decided he was going to take it home. So let's roll some of the original footage from that night and some of the stuff we went through to get it back. Here with my girls, we're sitting right down the road. My daughter here, her iPad was stolen. In 2 days, we have tracked it to a location. House is just right over here. We're waiting on the state troopers to arrive to do a surprise knock. We can see where they're walking around back and forth. It zoomed right in on the location, so we know exactly where it's at. We get it back, ain't we, baby?
Yep.
Sad thing is, we was going and we was looking at tools and looking at girly stuff for her because she likes helping Dad, and we think that she set it down at Tractor Supply and someone there walked up with it. Probably an employee. We're getting ready to find out though. And we are sitting right down from Open Fork Park. Gives you an idea where we're at here.
Like I said, I've had good luck with it except for a couple times where it's been that scenario. Like,
now, the state trooper, that's where that flashlight is right there. He's walking around. He's been into a few different houses. The way this works is it can ping. Sometimes it's right on the location, but this trooper is doing his best to locate this tonight. And in the event that it was taken from Tractor Supply, he will be able to go to the exact day and the exact time frame that I was there, because I was there looking for tools with my little girl, and he'll be able to get them on camera. And once you're on camera, it's done. Then we know you got it. Then comes charges. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully we find my baby's iPad. Right, no update since last night. We kept track of the iPad. We continuously locked it. Trooper was real great. Done a spectacular job. He really did. He tried his best to help. He walked the yards. He knocked the doors. All that good stuff. So today I went ahead and emailed the main corporate of Tractor Supply to let them know what was going on, because I want somebody from there going in and getting a hold of the regional managers and letting them observe the video footage to see who picked up my daughter's iPad, who took it home, who put it on charge, and who, as of 5 minutes ago, suddenly took it back to Tractor Supply. See this? This is the iPad. And as you can see, we got it back. It is very distinct iPad. Comes with the keyboard on it and all that fun stuff. Now let me tell you the story on how we got it back. I was able to track down the very last day that my daughter had this iPad to figure out exactly where it was that she lost it. You see, since I'm a social media person and a tool person, I like shopping for tools. So I stop at all kinds of different places. I go in, I browse, I see what they got. Sometimes I'll buy stuff, sometimes I won't. Well, on April 30th, between 8 to 9 o'clock, I had something to do. So we go down the road, we do what we need to do. About 8:30 to 9, we go into Tractor Supply, go in and see what they have in their little tool bin, go check out some of their pliers, stuff like that. That's how I shared that they had these Channel Lock aviation snips. I had never seen them there before, so stuff like that, I go in, I find it, I see it, I post it. Well, my little girl likes to go with me because she has her own toolbox. She likes tools. She was looking at the pink gloves and stuff like that you got for gardening, things like that, because she wants some gloves when she helps Dad work on things. Plus, I'll usually buy her some stuff from the cheap tool bin too. That way, you know, if we lose it or whatnot, it's not that big of a deal. Well, that night she had carried in her iPad and set it down. Now, the iPad was found and turned in by a worker, but not realizing that she had set it down and lost it until the next day. And then we start looking for it, end up pinging it, and it said it was over on Bent Branch. Had never been over on Bent Branch. Hadn't, you know, my mother lives in that direction, so I knew exactly where it was at. I grew up in that direction. So basically, drive over there, go up and down the road, and get a good look at everybody's cars and stuff like that, because I'm like, you know what, it was probably took from someone at Tractor Supply. So if I look at the plates and the cars here, and I go to Tractor Supply and I see it sitting in the parking lot, I can figure out who it is by going in and saying, hey, somebody just backed into this car out here, and then describe the car and see who runs out. Well, instead, because it was pinging and all that stuff, and I actually had a photo that I took right before that because Bristol was playing with her baby sister, you can zoom in on the iPad and clearly see that it had like 14% battery life. The time frame of the photo, it has a stamp on it in the little information box that says when that picture was taken. Now, the funny thing is it showed that the iPad was being charged. So whoever took it home, took it somewhere, charged it up. So if somebody was to say, hey, I was charging it, blah, 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 I was going to try to figure out who it was, well, it is clearly charged. And there was clearly a message on it that said, here's the phone number, this is lost. You know, if you contact us, there won't be no charges filed. And then, of course, you go over, contact state police. State police goes door to door. They do a spectacular job looking for it. We were ringing the device. Somebody was turning it off every time we was ringing it, things like that. And supposedly, now, the next day it showed up that it was back over in Pikeville at Tractor Supply. Went straight to the store. And then we got the story. We found the guy who said, yeah, I'm the one who found it. And then we got the manager who come out and was like, yeah, somehow it ended up in my binder and I didn't know it. And I took it home. home. Magically, it got charged and it ended up in your binder, and you supposedly didn't know that you had it while the cop was there. You didn't think to put 2 and 2 together and be like, oh yeah, well, I found this at work because it got charged. Somebody charged it. Like I was saying, if you found it at work legitimately and you're a manager, you put it in lost and found, you keep it in the office, you do not take it home with you. I mean, that should be pretty much common sense, especially within a day or two of actually finding the thing. Don't just suddenly find it goes in your personal binder that somehow got zipped up. Nobody else put a damn Apple iPad inside your binder, zipped it up, and then you conveniently took it home, especially whenever the Apple iPad was one of those that was thicker. It had an actual case that it went inside of with a keyboard attached to it, all that sort of stuff. So this is a big, thick, pink iPad, all kinds of stickers on it. So yeah, for one, I just do not believe that. Now, if it was me, and I have been in this situation before, I have found people's stuff before and returned it to them. So I understand the need for wanting to charge it, but even if you took it home to charge it, why didn't you get on the damn thing, look at the phone number that said if you return me now, there won't be charges filed, and then call the number? And I know for a fact that somebody charged it because, for one, Apple tells you that stuff. It tells you where it's at whenever it pings. It tells you whether or not it's on charge or not. It tells you whether it's been turned off or not. Whenever you're going to locate your iPad and it says it has been found, sometime it will register that it's been found because it's near another Apple product. It doesn't mean that it's actually found. It means that another Apple product is within the vicinity of that, and it's pinging that it's near another device. So Apple can pretty well say, yes, it was on this location near this person's device if they wanted to. I'm sure that's information that the police will know. This showed the guy's path to work. You know, after the state troopers went and knocked on these people's doors, and all of a sudden the very next day, you see it traveling from that person's house all the way back to Tractor Supply where it come from. And we were on it. The moment that it pinged and it said new location, Alexandria Drive, you know, within 3 minutes, was there in store, talking to the person who said, yeah, I'm the one who found it and turned it in. Then the manager pops up and gives you the explanation. Oh yeah, it was in my binder somehow, and I know it was charged. I know somebody charged it. Somebody took it home and charged it because the time frame in which we left it at the store, somebody took it from the store directly to the house and then charged it. We got it and it was pinging. It was showing it was on charge. We actually got it back today. It was 51% charge. And mind you, we was pinging it the whole time that the cop was there, sending messages all night long just to annoy whoever had it. So one, somebody took it home conveniently. For two, they charged it. For three, they sat there and lied to the cops and acted like, I don't know nothing about no iPad. You knew it was there. You clearly knew it was there because you charged the damn thing. We could see it going from one end of your house to the other when you was probably walking around with it, because it shows you that. Another thing to consider is whenever this exact state trooper shows up to Tractor Supply and they say, let me speak to this particular manager, and he looks that manager in the eye, he's going to say, yeah, don't you remember me standing in your living room a few nights ago and you telling me that you knew nothing about this? They're right there, you know. And I understand people being scared, you know. Just say, hey, I admit I made a mistake. We got there, it was still in the truck. So he arrived to work, went and clocked in, was probably going to bring that thing in later on and set it in there and be like, oh yeah, it was here the whole time. No, it was in his truck, in his binder whenever we got there, because we went straight there. So anyhow, obviously this was a few weeks back, so here's the final update. Now, the district managers and everything did reach out from Tractor Supply to want to know our side of the story. Of course, they got his side of the story. And the whole thing was this. I'm like, you know, I'm sure that everything will get pieced together whenever you start diving into the footage, looking at all the videotapes, hearing his side of the story, because it just don't add up on my end. And I got all the proof you need on the other aspect of everything. Big fat pink iPad, stickers all over it, keyboard included. It don't just end up accidentally zipped up inside your personal binder, makes its way out the store. And since we got to the store so fast the next day whenever it arrived, I assume it's one of those things he went in and clocked in, didn't expect us to show up at that exact moment. He was probably going to sneak it in later, in my opinion, and just put it back in the office and be like, oh, it was here the whole time, I don't know what you're talking about. As anybody who's been in management knows, if you find something, it should go straight to the safe, period. That's how a lot of stores like this operate. You find something, it goes in the safe. It doesn't go home with you, not on the exact same day that it was turned in. It don't go home within 24 to 48 hours of being turned in. Managers are in a position of trust where they're supposed to oversee the store, make sure the store is protected from theft itself. Then you got managers out here who's taking stuff that people are leaving behind and taking it home themselves. So it begs the question, how many people over the years and how many different places across the country have lost something? They went back to the store, asked the managers, hey, has this been turned in? Nope, not turned in, don't know what you're talking about. And that's because the manager took it home and they're just lying to you, and you're assuming you lost it somewhere else, and really you lost it there. Now, Tractor Supply management did whatever they had to do. All I know is I stalked his Facebook page afterwards, and now it says that he's a former manager at Tractor Supply and they were hiring for a new management position. I ought to go down there and apply for it just for shits and giggles. But needless to say, we got the iPad back. My daughter's thrilled about having her iPad back, and it's sad that this situation had to take the route that it did to begin with. Because had it been turned in the night that we was actually looking for it, none of this would have happened. If you ever had any problem like this, if you have, comment down below, let us know about it. Otherwise, I do want to extend a big thank you to Tractor Supply for doing the right thing.